Okay, so we're going to learn about phone call etiquette today. There are different ways in how you're going to answer phone calls, but here are some good manners or polite ways in accepting or receiving a call. So these are the different tips that you have to do. The first one is answer a call within 3 rings. As long as you are alert and at your phone, especially at all times, excluding breaks, of course, this rule should be fairly simple to follow. However, we recommend responding within 3 rings in order to give yourself enough time to get in the zone and prepare for the call. Do not just pick it up easily. So picking up the phone right away might leave you flustered. Number two, immediately introduce yourself. Upon picking up the phone, you should confirm with the person whom they have called. In personal calls, it's sufficient to begin with a hello and let the caller introduce themselves first. However, you want to allow the caller to know if they've hit a wrong number as well as whom they are speaking with. Also, practice with the phone saying, "Hi, this is tell your name from your company or where you are from. How can I help you?" So, for example, for me, "Hi, this is Ryan from Shining Light Academy. How can I help you?" The person you speak with will be able to feel warmed, which will encourage a positive start to your call. And if it ends up being an exasperated college student trying to order pizza, they'll at least appreciate your friendliness. Now, number three, it's here you have to speak clearly. Phone calls, while a great option of those who detest in person interaction, do require very strong communication skills. For one, the person on the other end of the line can only judge you based on your voice, since they don't get to identify your body language and hopefully kind smile. But definitely, just like me, you don't know what I'm doing. I may be angry right now, but just because of the vocals or the voice that I'm uttering, you might be telling that I'm really into mood right now, but you have to speak clearly so that your audience or the person you're talking to will be able to listen to you carefully. Number four, only use speakerphone when necessary. Give your customers or your if you have businesses later, give your customers your full attention to avoid speakerphone. This will make it easier for both of you to be heard, and it will ensure that you're actually paying attention to them. You may need to use speakerphone at rare occasions, such as when you have a full conference call or when you're trying to have troubleshoots in your phone. So that's the time you can, well, other than that, you can use your headset to remain hands-free. Now we have here number five, actively listen and take notes. This is very important, especially when you are receiving a very important call. Speaking of paying attention to the person you're talking to, it is necessary that you are actively listening to them throughout the conversation. Actively listening means hearing everything they have to say and basing your response off uh, to their comments rather than using a prescribed script like doing some scripts on your own. No, it's not necessarily. You have to listen carefully. It is helpful to take notes also during support calls so that you can jot down the main points and jump into problem solving without requiring them to repeat later. And then we also have here our number six, very important, use proper language. We have to use proper language. A key difference between professional and personal phone calls is very obvious, the language. Sometimes people talk harsh words but never ever use those things. Even those call center agents, they even try to be very they actually try to speak great still, even though they are being said with harsh words, or they people talk to them badly, they still do it better. It might be acceptable to use slang and swears when talking on phone with your friends, but it's kind language. Well, these languages can be used later for better informal calls, but for formal calls you have to be reminded, always remind yourselves to use proper languages. And then another one, number 7, this is also great. Remain cheerful. You never know when a customer, for example, is having a bad day. When someone is rude to you on the phone, your immediate reaction may be to put them in your place, right? How about they don't understand what I'm into right now, and they are calling me about these things and so forth. But you always have to remain cheerful. First, though, take a moment to step into their shoes and recognize why they are so upset. So sometimes, kasi, yeah, when we try to speak to people, sometimes we tend to not understand what they are into, but we have to still be uh, mindful about what we talk, about what we say, so that nobody will be hurt, or nobody will be harmed. And in here, number 8, ask before putting someone on hold or transferring a call. This is actually especially when you have a conference call like that. So when you ask before putting someone on hold or transferring a call, there's often nothing more infuriating than being put on hold, right? After waiting on hold for 10 or 15 minutes to speak with a real life human being you don't know, you finally get to explain your problem, then you're immediately put back on hold again and then transferred to someone else. To, no, this actually just happened mostly in uh, call centers. Sometimes, yeah, we actually tried having one like this with your teachers, with some other teachers here in school, and then it's really frustrating to see that you are on hold, you are waiting, and then you hear that sound. There's that sound. I just forget what the sound is. It's like whatever. I'm not really very familiar with that, but that's it. So going back to our lesson, number 9, be honest if you don't know the answers. Sometimes when people call us, some people talk to us, especially on phone, they would actually ask us a lot of questions, a lot of things. We may not know them, or some we may know, but let us be honest. Do not assume that you know everything. Just tell them that, okay, I don't know where my mom is, or I don't know what where to answer. Please call later again because my sister is not around. So you just have to be honest on the things that you would want to, on the things, especially that you don't know these things. And then another one, number 10, we're almost done. So number 10, be mindful of your volume. Especially, some people just wanted to call wherever they are. Especially, I experienced something. I was inside a van. It was in a van wherein, yeah, it was a public utility van wherein, in that at that time actually, yes, I really wanted to sleep because I felt so exhausted. But then this certain woman who has actually someone calling her, and the volume was too loud. Everybody could hear inside that certain vehicle. We could all hear what they're talking about, and she speaks so loud, and we are bombarded by the voice. The voice was actually so irritating. So let us be mindful about the way how we talk, uh, especially on our volume. Are we irritating someone else inside our or around us? So we have to be mindful about these people also. Do not just talk because you have someone calling you or whatever. And lastly, be courteous always. Learn to respect the people on the other line. So you have to be mindful about the words that you say, everything that you speak. So let us always be courteous. Let us, in Filipinos, we always say po and opo. Sige po, okay po. Yan. Right. So these are actually things that you have to do every time you are into phone call. With all that, let us call it a day. Goodbye, class. Thank you.